You ready?
I'm ready, dog.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, my nigga. Hey, y'all, welcome everybody to the Reality or Not podcast with Ed Williams. Eddie, do you want to give an announcement? Do you want to say anything?
Yeah,
Tell the world about yourself.
looks like I'm gonna be retiring from the pod game because of our audio issues for the past 12 hours.
Uh,
So I'm just gonna bow out. I'm gonna let Mike is gonna be my replacement.
nah, nigga, fuck that shit.
So
We need you, Ed. We need you. We
thank
need
you,
your love. We need your respect. We need everything from
thank you
you.
to everyone for their support and their undying love for the
Nigga, fuck
past
they
three
love,
podcasts.
nigga. Even if it's dying or not, nigga, fuck that shit. We need Ed. We need Ed. Eddie, Eddie, Eddie.
You're a cheerleader of one.
Yes, that's right. Better than zero.
Is it? Is
I'd rather have one person cheering for me than nobody.
it? In some instances, but yeah. So just you know, this has been
See
it's
how I
been a
go with
great run.
this audio shit. This shit is frustrating. We supposed to be
It
recording
is.
damn near 4 hours ago.
So it was a great run. Hopefully I left some kind of mark on the
I know, man.
podcast game.
I'm cheering
Um,
for you. So you got one person cheering for you, just rooting for you and shit.
ooh,
You know what I'm saying? Throw that shit up. Twirl that
one
shit.
person.
Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no.
Yeah, motherfucker happy. Um,
That's what I'm talking
yeah.
about. Cool,
You
cool.
said what?
All right. Well, let's jump into it.
Yeah.
So how do you want to start? You want to start it on some regular topic shit, or do you want to talk about some shit that we've had things that we've been talking about that we just go talk about over the past like couple podcasts. One of them was talking about side nigga songs. Then just talking about a little bit with the NBA and who we think go win the Super Bowl. NFL who go win or NFL who go win the Super Bowl, NBA who go win a championship and all that stuff. So where you want to jump in at?
We can go to the side Negro songs.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
All right.
just jump
Interesting
right.
take. I like that. All right.
You
You
know.
want to go tick for tat, or do you got one song on your brain that you want to drop on niggas?
I'll wait for a second. Let us get a
Okay.
couple into it. I mean,
Okay.
I think before we started, I was looking at the Spotify playlist about the side chick anthems.
Mm-hmm.
There were some
Don't
on
be
here that I
advertise. Don't be giving them niggas no advertisement, man. Fuck Spotify. They ain't paying us yet.
I was checking out this playlist called Side Chick Anthems on
Yeah, it was on one of the
one
streaming
of those
platforms that could
platforms.
provide
Yeah,
money for us. Yeah.
yeah, not something I previously said. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
Yeah,
like I think I told you like Hedda Helly. In my mind, I was like I didn't think of that because I used to listen to it all the time. Then when I looked at the lyrics, I was like, oh yeah, she
that's a
was the side.
bombshell. I never thought about that song. That is a crazy song. Heather
Yeah,
Headley in my mind. I would have never thought because I remember was that on her first album? Because I remember when she came out. I think that was on her first album, right? Or no?
yeah. I'm pretty sure it was in her. I mean,
Because
well, yes,
I don't own more than one. So
yeah, me
she
either.
only yeah. So
I was trying to remember if she had more than one album. I mean, she probably did. Like, she probably dropped one on like, R&B artists who didn't blow records and
yeah,
dropped her
it's like
second joint.
her. She fall in
She's
that bucket of Vivian Green
oh yeah,
and yeah, them type of artists that they had a song that you
the
listen to,
rock
you hear
with.
it on the radio, you be like, oh, who is this? I wonder is this Vivian Green or Heather Headley, and then you be like, oh shit, it's
Yeah,
Latoya Luckett, and then you be like, okay, they all in that little bucket ass bucket. So
yeah. So yeah, I got some. So I guess the opening say, imagine seeing him on the town holding another hand. She's staring me down. So I figured that he told her who I am. But it don't matter either way what they do or say, cause ain't nothing changed. He's standing with her, but his soul is calling out my name. I don't think I ever put that. I was like, oh yeah, that's clearly she's the
yeah,
side,
it's
and she's
yeah. I
you
mean,
know saying it
she
doesn't
gonna
matter. But yeah, probably. I guess that thing makes me think of like probably one of the probably the scandalous side songs like the Carl Thomas joint. Damn, I
I
can't remember
wish.
the title. The
I wish.
yeah, I wish like yo, my man, like dog, you was like, man, you acknowledged she had a whole family, but you was like, what about me? Like, damn,
Yeah.
dog, like,
Yeah. That shit was. I still remember him sitting in the car, deep sighing, talking about,
yeah,
just
dang,
sad
man,
as
you,
hell. I'm like, damn, nigga, like she got a whole ass family she got to take care of. Let her live, Carl.
yeah,
She ain't
I'm
leaving
like,
you.
man,
She unhappy, but she ain't leaving you. She ain't leaving
yeah,
the family. Gotta make sure them little niggas like get raised to older niggas. Like they can't fuck all
yeah,
that.
she might holler at you when they hit 18, but you
Mm-hmm.
like, man, what about me? I'm like, damn, that was some. Okay, Carl. Hey, look, I mean, I've never
Yeah,
been.
but I fuck with Carl Thomas. I love his music,
Yeah,
but I don't like niggas named Carl. This is one nigga named Carl that I went to school with. That nigga was cool as hell. He stayed in Acres in at Michigan State, but he was a cool ass nigga. But like Carl Winslow, I don't fuck with Carl Winslow. Like that nigga was corny and then he let his wife work as a elevator operator and shit. And I was like, what type of shit
yeah,
is that? Like, who has an elevator operating job and shit? Like, that's some bullshit. Like that whole Family Matters shit was just some bullshit. Like that was just a terrible ass show. Sorry for
dang, like,
sidetracking, but yeah, that was just an ass show.
dang.
I
What
like that it
about?
was a black family though, but
So you ain't even peeped the like the subtle nod to Diddy when they sent Judy upset with Baby Ola and she never came back. You know what? Never mind. Let me stop. So
I mean Laura was a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she used to do Urkel wrong and shit. Like
yeah,
and Urkel, she tried to fuck with the nigga when he was Stefan and shit. But Urkel
when
wasn't
we went back to
Urkel
Urkel,
wasn't going.
yeah, even but you know the one she passed away at a young age.
Oh, you talking about
Urkel,
the chick that went upstairs? Oh, she was a bad one. What's her name?
yeah,
I
I
can't,
think she was on the Cosby Show too. Was she on the
yep,
Cosby Show?
yeah, she was Theo's girlfriend at one point in time.
Yeah, I
And
was like,
she was
still
old.
young.
She was old as hell on Family. I don't know how
She
she was on
was.
Family Matters. She had to been old as hell because she was on the Cosby Show, and that's definitely in the 80s. But yeah, she
It's
was.
like, Steve,
Was
you
that Justine?
yeah, was that her name on Justine on the Cosby Show, right?
Yeah, guys, remember Theo singing it. Justine,
Yeah,
bum
yeah.
bum bum bum. Justine,
Oh
but
yeah,
I want to say that was her, but I can't remember. I want to say I'm probably about 75-80% sure that that's her. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's her. Yeah.
she was fine. Did she die? I think she died of cancer or something like that. Something
Yeah,
crazy.
but it's like, Steve, why are you chasing after Laura? And she
Yeah,
wants you.
and you got her, and she wants you. She was supposed to
Yeah,
be like a little geek or whatever. I'm like, yo, Urkel, like she way better than Laura, and Laura is just
yeah,
wasting his time.
yeah. Like, look, I mean, if that's the one you're gonna settle for, that's not a bad settle. Like,
Yeah, I'd have took her. I can't remember her name on the show, but I'd have took Justine from the Cosby Show and rode with it for the motherfucking
yeah,
Family Matters show. So yeah, that was some
yeah,
bullshit. Let me
I
think of
can't
my
remember
let
the
me think of
side
my
piece.
side chick song. I'm gonna go let me see. I got my little list here. I'm gonna go Whitney Houston, Saving All My Love for Me. Only because everybody be giving. I don't like when people say, "Well, music changed and we doing it different now," and it's more. I mean, the music was more discreet back then versus like what is
Like, nah,
I guess in your face right now. I mean, I fuck with Sexy Red. I fuck like it's good. I mean, just as a DJ and shit, like it's
yeah,
shit. I play some Sexy Red, nigga. I end up playing like 6 or 8 songs from her. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so here go a little bit of lyrics from the Saving All My Love for You. She say, a few stolen moments is all that we shared. You've got your family and they need you there. Though I tried to resist being last on your list, but no other man's gonna do. So I'm saving all my love for you. I'm
damn,
like, okay, Whitney, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it then. Like, fuck it though. Like, if that's
yeah,
who you want to be with, I mean, figure that shit out, nigga. It's like I don't know.
yeah. And you don't ever think that's one of the songs like you, the kid, you kind of just hearing it. You
Mhm.
don't think, damn,
Nigga,
Whitney
I'm
Houston.
trying to think. I'm trying to think. My sister, I think I might have been the second. No, my sister's 6 years older than me. So I was either in the first or second grade. I gotta ask her which song she was singing, but I'm almost positive my sister was singing that song in a talent show in like her seventh grade at Nelson and shit, like in Muskegon and shit. Like she was singing a Whitney song, but I'm almost positive it was that song. So
it was some people out there that was really relating. Like, yo, I can feel that. I feel that in my heart. Like, dang, it was some ladies out there, some parents out in the crowd that was feeling that joint.
yeah, they was like, woo,
It was hitting the
child.
spot. Yeah,
Just
in the
all in
80s.
on that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, probably one of the most slept on side piece songs, but probably one of the better ones. Um, I'd probably go with Kanye West, Big
You said big what?
Big Brother, his love song to Jay, and just thinking like I'm struggling to figure out like I don't know.
Why you make a whole song dedicated to another nigga type of shit and you salty and
Yeah, but
this is this I'm telling you my love for you right now on a song and you just keep kicking me.
Like, yeah, and he was Jay's like he and I don't like he wanted to be Jay's side piece. I don't think Jay was accepting of him as a side piece, which probably led to the later beef and everything. But like I think that was his shot to like say like, hey Jay, I don't care about Beyonce. I want to be your side piece. Like it was I think that's one of the better like slept on unknown like side nigga songs out there. Like
that's a bombshell. I had never that's funny that you mentioned I had never in the history of music, and don't get me wrong, I fuck with Kanye. I'll tell people this any day. I put Kanye's catalog up against anybody's catalog. And if you don't like him for, if he weird ass nigga or he Trump support or whatever like you don't like him for, or what is it? Slavery. What do you say? Slavery was a choice type of shit. Yeah, it's just like that nigga. I put his catalog up against Nas. I put his catalog up against Jay's, and I'll put his catalog up against. My favorite. I put him up against Commons. I think Jay has a better chance just because he has way more albums. But when you start looking at best albums, album for album, it gets interesting. You're talking like I just Jay-Z as an example. You say Blueprint. You say some people love Volume 2. I thought Volume 2 was okay, but I'll say Blueprint. And I'll say Black Album. Then I'll say American Gangster. Hell, I mean maybe even 444. But albums that I think that are acknowledged. Is not necessarily everybody said that they're classics, but a good amount of people within public have recognized these as great albums, Right. So like I said, there could be a give and take with Volume 2 or I mean a lot of people would say whatever about Blueprint 2, but even with Blueprint 2, I liked a lot of Blueprint 2. But anyway, but I wouldn't compare Blueprint 2 to the Black Album. I think the Black Album is a way better album just because there was less songs and was stronger content. Yeah. But to back to your point as far as the side nigga song, I was like, damn, Kanye, like, and I love that production. What's the nigga? I think he's from Houston. That did the or he's either from Houston. I know he did the T.I. production back in the day.
Two, but
Two produced that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, Two produced that, and I always loved that beat and everything. But I was like, damn, nigga, you made a whole song dedicated to a nigga. And we could talk about that shit too. We continue talking about the side nigga shit, but I mean, like even when we was talking about Dame, because I was gonna bring up Dame because with Dame, putting on Kanye, I always have some type of feelings about it anyway. But Dame been kind of talking about this whole Jay-Z thing back and forth recently about how he didn't like certain things, but I'll say that topic for a little bit later. But yeah, side nigga songs, that's a crazy one. One I was looking at was and you won't really realize it because it's a bop, was SWB, You're the One for Me. You know, it's like that song, like you be jiggy to it, like chicks love it, and you just be singing it. And I got some of the lyrics too. Let me see what I find this shit. Um, I know that you're somebody else's guy, but these feelings that I have for you, I can't deny. She doesn't treat you the way you want her to. You know, so it's kind of like, damn, like
Yeah.
y'all was just riding with that shit like it was cool. It's just always interesting to me to, like I said, when you fast forward the music now and you say what was back then, like niggas weren't talking about shit back then. Like you had mentioned before, we talking songs like Creep. I'm like, these hoes talking about, you know, creeping on other niggas' mans and shit like that. And, you know, and I don't know, it's just always.
He's mine.
You say what?
Smoking stuff, he's mine, which is
Yeah.
self-explanatory. Like,
Yeah.
right. Like,
yeah. I still remember having that CD for no reason. That shit was on Def Jam. I still
they were.
Yeah, that shit was on motherfucking Def Jam, nigga. Like, and that shit was terrible.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I traded you my Midnight Marauders for that Smoking Stuff album.
That was a great choice. Oh, that was a great trade.
Yeah, for
nigga,
you.
That was like,
I don't know what made me do that.
Nigga, that was like getting LeBron in 2010 for I'm trying to think who was playing in 2010. For Mo Williams, what's Luke Walton and 3 second-round picks.
Yeah. That might have still been too much. Like you could have probably got him for cheap. Like you could have probably just did a straight, like that trade was so lopsided. It probably just could have been LeBron for like Mo Williams. Like that's probably what the equivalency of that trade is. Like I wasn't really huge Tribe fan, and I'm like I respect Tribe and what they've done, but I think I just really wasn't bumped the album. But I still don't know. Like I have no idea what I was thinking. I think I just said he's mine. You might have had him once. Man, I just played that song. I didn't play anything else off of that trash ass album. Like,
yeah, that shit was terrible.
Later, I bought Tribe Quest Midnight Marauders again. Like,
but look at it like this, right? It's like, you know, back then everybody was trying to have you like you was influenced by your peers, right? Which is cool,
right?
But at the same time, it's like everybody told you that Tribe was this dope ass group. I fuck with Tribe, but you know, like I don't like their whole catalog. And ironically, I thought their catalog got better, you know, moving forward versus, you know, their earlier stuff. Like I didn't like People Instinctive Travels. I mean, I like songs, you know, but I think sometimes people get involved in saying that because it's older or it was a part of my youth that's great music. Like I was having a debate on it's one of the chats on Facebook. I think it's called Beats, Rhyme, and Lounge or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but somebody had posted the Lynch Mob, and they were talking about how this was a classic album, and I remember listening to that in real time. It was like, this shit is terrible. That shit was not a good ass album, and honestly, I felt like a good reason or one of the main reasons why I felt that it wasn't a good album was because my expectations of having Cube on there already kind of like took away from me actually liking the album. But then me listening to it in general, I was like, I don't like these other niggas. Like I like Cube. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it just wasn't a good album to me. And you know, people was like, oh, well, you know, you tripping. Why can't you see this as a classic album? I was like, yo, everything that came out in the 90s, hell, some stuff in 2000s wasn't classic. You know, like it just is what it is. I mean, I still have, you know, like MC Lighter, Queen Latifah, like I go on record to say, hey, I can't. It ain't no full ass albums that I like from either of them. You know what I'm saying? I like them as rappers. You know what I'm saying? I like them when they was featured, but ain't no full ass album that I like from them. You know, and even with Tribe Called Quest, I mean, you're talking People Instinctive Travels, you're talking Low End Theory. It was songs on those albums that I like, but then I didn't really like. I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked them more like when it was Try. Oh, not Try, but when it was Midnight Marauders. Like that album was just dope as hell to me, and still one of my favorite albums, like of all time. But even the album, I forgot, I can't think of the name of the fourth one that came out in '96 when they was kind of beefing.
Beats Rhyme and Life?
Yeah, I like that album.
Yeah.
I like Consequence. Like, they was whatever beef that they was having, but I like Consequence being on like maybe 12 or 13 songs. Like Consequence was spitting. I like that album sonically. And then even the Love Movement, I thought was decent, but you can kind of see that they was on their way out. But hell, I can say the same thing about De La Soul. It's not a De La Soul album, that I could just say like I love. Like I liked was it the Stakes is High. I think that was the name of the album, right?
Yeah.
But I like songs on that album, but to say that's I'll give them more props for being influential rather than saying, okay, they have this classic album. I was talking to some people last night about Diggable Planets, or I was talking to Mike about Diggable Planets. And I was like, I ain't like them niggas. Like, I like some songs they had. And I like two songs off of their first album. And then even the Blowout Cone, I didn't think that was like that dope. I thought they were a vibe, but that don't mean I have to like them just because they're a vibe. Like, no, like I just wasn't. And I remember listening, but I listened to it because of other people saying that it was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
versus like having my own opinion.
Mike.
Yeah, like somebody be like, "Oh man, the blowout comb is dope," and I'm like, "Okay, let me listen to it." And I'm still not hearing it, but I'm like, "Oh, I guess it's dope to you."
I'm supposed to like it. Yeah, I guess I ain't gonna slam it completely.
Yeah, but people take it personal though. It's like like if I tell you, "Hey, look, man, you're like." Even if it's not directed towards you, like if you say, "Hey man, I make the best spaghetti ever," and then I'm like, "Nigga, I don't eat spaghetti," and you're because they fucking carbs and whatever, you be like, "But nigga, my spaghetti had your ass eating these motherfucking carbs." You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's okay for your ass to eat your best ass spaghetti, and nigga, and for me to not eat that shit. It's like it gives me more room to like more shit within the music or however we're categorizing it. So, but it's just always interesting that people be taking their opinion to be law. It's like, nah, like we can agree to disagree and keep it moving.
Yeah, music is subjective, man. So like everybody gonna like what they like, and like when we're younger, high school, in our 20s, that like I used to make the argument for the stuff I like then a lot more. Man, I'm older now, man. Like I'm 47, man. I don't have time to argue with somebody. Like I was talking to somebody one time, like a few years ago, and they were talking to me about the Griselda crew. I like Benny the Butcher, really, but like but somebody was telling me, and they were like telling me like, yeah, like I was listening, like I don't really like it, and then they started going into a dissertation of why they didn't like it, and I'm looking like, man, I don't even know you for real. Like we cool, you ain't my best friend, cool. So do I really give a fuck? Like, like you tell me this, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna stop listening to Benny now. Like it's cool. Like I love Joe Budden. I know you don't rock with Joe Budden, but like
I fuck with Joe Budden. I just don't like his dark shit.
Yeah, and see, and you'll let me live. Like,
hey, most of this shit be dark as fuck.
They do. And that's the stuff
I love happy ass Joe Budden on Def Jam. Like I don't like I'll still go to it to this day. I remember listening to that first Joe Budden album, and I remember thinking, I was like, okay. And like I said, I wasn't like no A&R even at that time or even, now, but I remember listening to it and I was like, damn, well, they got Pump It Up. Everybody loves that song. I was like, why don't they go with the 112 song? And like the 112 song was like catered directly to the woman, and it was a dope ass song too. But yet these niggas put out a second single with motherfucking the Just Blaze sample again with Busta Rhymes. I was like, you can't keep. It's almost like they did the same thing with I was listening to this album earlier today, but they did similar to Shine. And now don't get me wrong, I like Shine songs off of his first album, but he had two of his first two singles had Barrington Levy on them. You know what I'm saying? It was the Bad Boys and then the Bonnie and Shine. And I love both of those songs, but it's like, okay, you got to give a little bit of variety so people can fuck with them like that. Like you can't give two Just Blaze songs and they damn near sound the same for Joe Budden, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And they did too. They were very similar. They should have dropped 10 minutes as the next single.
You said what song?
10 minutes, which is 10 minutes of him.
Are you talking about the last song about wasn't that about the drug? The about everything that he was dealing with at the time.
Yeah. 10-minute video for that.
You can't have a 10-minute video. But hey, look, if you look back at that song, that was one of the songs that you can see Joe Budden of who he is right now, and you look back at that song, and you will understand who he is now based off of that song. Like it's literally like that's Joe Budden early, that's but who he is.
Yeah, he wasn't making the song for the radio. That was the song that Joe went in the studio made for Joe. Like, but that's just like you said. Like I can respect you not like rocking with Joe. Like you respect that I like Joe. Like but a lot of times people will just try to sell you on like what they think is a fact. All music to me, all music is subjective, whether you like it or not. Like sometimes, and to me, even though somebody might sell 5 million units, like 5 million people liked it.
Yeah,
and, there's a lot bigger than 5 million people, so there's probably I don't know how many. I'm gonna say there's at least 5 million people that didn't rock with it, and it's cool that they did it. But don't tell me that
if 5 million rock with it, it's probably like, well, how many people in this world? 5 billion. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that many people that didn't rock with it or didn't know about it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like, and it's cool, and I get it where some songs just hit, they're popular, but just because something growing up, coming up, I wasn't a big fan of I know we've gone off on tangent, but I wasn't a big fan of Bad Boy at the time. Just the shiny suit era, you could say after Biggie.
Oh, you talking about after Big? Okay.
Yeah, after Big, and I wasn't a fan of it for real. I would listen to it and all that sometimes, and I would get why I would go up in the club. But a few years ago when Bad Boy Puff did that tour, and I went to it.
One of the tours I regret not going to ever.
Man, and you sit in there and you thinking to yourself, man, I ain't really rock with Can't Hold Nobody Hold Me Down in those joints. But you see him go up in the concert, and it's 20 years later, you yeah. The same thing with Ja Rule. I rocked with Ja Rule's first album.
I regret to this day not going. Hey, did I ever tell you? I'm my bad for interrupting. Did I ever tell you that what I ended up going to instead of going to go see the Bad Boy tour?
You did, but what? Crucial Conflict?
Nah, nigga, not Crucial Conflict. Lauryn Hill.
Oh, Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
You dumbass.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, so it's twofold, right? So the way that it was supposed to work out was Lauryn Hill or Bad Boy had canceled. Or they canceled the original date that they were going to do, and it was a week before that. And then Lauryn Hill, they rescheduled for the date that Lauryn Hill was on. So I got offered tickets for both of them, and I was like, "Nigga, that was that my last chance? Was that my last time giving Lauryn Hill a chance?" I think it was. When was the Bad Boy? That was 2018, 2019. I can't remember. It was somewhere around there. Yeah, but I just remember going to the Lauryn Hill show and not seeing Lauryn Hill. That's all I remember. That shit was a terrible. That's one of the worst. I mean, and I think she had went on we were about to leave, and then she was about to go on. So then we came back, we literally about to walk out the gate, about to leave, and then we start hearing her voice, and I don't know what happened with the contract disputes or whatever, but she was not able to. It was some little stipulation, she couldn't perform the songs as they were on that album.
Oh, because of that contract about the production on the Miseducation album, right?
Yeah. So she had to do different interpretations of it So we sat there for maybe about. I'm I'm okay with writing off shit and be like, hey, look, I'm done with it. We weren't there no more than like 5 minutes, no more than 10. I'll give it 10 just to give her grace. But it was just sounding bad. I was like, okay. I was like, well, maybe we could just get back to our cars sooner so we can avoid traffic. And that's how we ended up leaving. But the Bad Boy tour, sorry for the long-winded answer, but the Bad Boy tour was that night. And I don't care what Puff does at this point in time or P. Diddy or whatever, but there will never be a tour like that with that group that I was impacted by in my youth ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, you missed it for Lauren and her interpretation of her album.
That's probably like my 8th or 9th time too, like trying with Lauren. So it ain't yeah, like that, like all the way back to, what was the concert that they used to have in Detroit at that one? I forgot the name of it. I remember when Lauryn Hill, huh? No. I'm talking about, it used to be like in the park. I can't think of the name of it, but I remember Lauryn Hill had a weird ass set, whatever, like in the middle, and she only came on for like 20 minutes. But I just remember it was her at one point in time. It was Talib Kweli. It was CeeLo Green. I can't think of the name of that park, but it was like an outdoor park.
Trackless people. Sideways.
Yeah, but literally, I don't fuck with Lauren like that. Yeah, fuck Lauryn Hill.
That was wow.
So, fuck her and that kid. Then she tried to drop the little rap on Nas album. No, then she tried to drop the she tried to drop the little rap on Nas album. Talking about like what she say? She said be something with my lateness or something like that.
Yeah.
Bitch, fuck y'all
I'm
lateness.
Saving soul. Yeah, she's like, I'm saving souls. Like, who you saving? You ain't even on time. They saving gone by the time you get there.
Like, fuck you. Like, and that's and that's not the sidetrack because we really sidetrack, and that's cool. But one of the most overrated artists in the history of music is Lauryn Hill. And I'll say that today. I don't know if I said it before, but I'll say it now. Is that she, people will say, hey, she did this, that, and the other. But honestly, bro, she gave us an album and a half of quality music. And don't get me wrong, the Fuji, I love like Fuji's a score.
Yeah.
Literally one of my favorite albums ever. And hell, Mr. Education for Lauryn Hill, it took me a while to get onto it because I still won't say that. I remember my homegirl Joya. I remember we were listening to it. We was coming from Warehouse Music, and I sold it to her for $10. Like after I was like, what is all this singing and shit? Like I'm just like, damn, where's the rapping at? She ran through like 3 songs of rapping, but I just remember it was like all singing. I was like, I don't. This isn't what I want from Lauryn Hill because I always felt like Lauryn Hill was. Don't get me wrong. I think she's a pretty good singer, but I felt like she was a better rapper than most rappers. Like, period. Like, I didn't think like she's the best female rapper or anything like that. I just thought that she was a dope ass rapper. So if you threw Lauryn, like you don't hear Lauryn Hill mentioned in the top 5, top 10, but hell, if you throw some of her verses against some of the other niggas, Lauryn was killing it.
Yeah, but it's like, can I give you credit for like a group album and then a solo album that you maybe had like 3 or 4 tracks where you rhyming on? Like, I mean, I can't. Not when you. Well, she, whatever reason she left the game, she left the game. Like and like I remember,
bro. I don't care for any of your like people try to justify and say, okay, people left this for this, or this person had this for this. Whatever quality, whatever form of music you give me as an artist is a representation of you. So, and a prime example is Cannabis. Like Cannabis, I mean, Cannabis 96, 97.
Yeah.
I mean, I have never seen anybody have that much hype, behind them and was backing it up. Like Cannabis was, not to say like 50 had this kind of hype. 50 had hype, but 50 had hype that he built up himself. Cannabis had hype that he built up himself, but he built it through other artists. So you hear songs like "Beast from the East."
Yep.
Cannabis dropped the last because
3, 2, 1.
Redman verse goes totally unnoticed, but Redman verse
Yeah.
was dope as hell on "Beast from the East."
Yeah, but
You have what was it
4, 3, 2, 1.
making a name for ourselves with Common.
Oh yeah, yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hell, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shit. I mean, that was some whole shit, but whatever, you know, like with LL. But you know, it's just like as far as diss records, I'll still say it to this day, like Second Round Knockout is one of the best diss records I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's up
there, definitely. Yeah.
Like if he wasn't going up against LL, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't see nobody else recovering from it. Like people was letting LL live just because it was LL, you know. But outside of that, nah. Like that diss record, like, and the nigga had Mike Tyson on the sand too in the motherfucking video, like running with him and shit, and then his little ad-libs. Like, come on, man. Like that shit was perfect, you know. But
yeah, old Cannabis. Yeah, but yeah, Cannabis. Like you said, Cannabis, that mixtape run, he was constantly on a Clue tape, and then like you said, just the features.
Four Horsemen. It was just like you couldn't like even on the official mixtapes, you know what I'm saying? Like Cannabis was still that dude, like, you know, dropping it. What he's on was he on Big Pun shit? On Punishment?
Capital Punishment. No, he wasn't on Capital Punishment.
Who was the 4 niggas on the was it because Prodigy, huh?
Which one? Because I know there's that one off of Clue album, the one man, because I think we talked about last podcast because it was Nori, Pun, and Cameron, and Cannabis closed it out.
Oh, that was what was the name of that shit? That was on the I remember it was like it was that was on the necklace. I remember it was like a necklace on the cover talking about
but then there was Fantastic Four was the name of it.
Yeah.
I know the 4 Horsemen group was Killer Priest, Cannabis, Corrupt, and Cast. But I think you're talking about there was a 4 Horsemen song though that
who's on the it had Prodigy sampled on it. Something in the Step in Your Face you get. So it had who's the 4 niggas? I know Inspector Deck was on it. It's the P. Yeah, Prodigy was on it. So it's Prodigy, Inspector Deck, Pun, of course. And who's the 4th nigga? I felt like Cannabis one on there. Okay. I'm trying to think of who was the 4th nigga on there. But I just remember like I can't remember. I think it might have been Pete Rock who produced it. I can't remember who produced it, but I just remember this, like they sampled every nigga like voice
that was on the track.
That was on the track because of like, because I remember Prodigy part, it was like it's the P, then Prodigy jumped in or whatever. But
I don't know.
I know
what you're talking about, but
I'm gonna think of it in a second. I'm about to look that shit up now. But yeah, man, that was I'm saying all that to say Cannabis like had it, and like that nigga dropped a whack ass album and you know and didn't have it, you know.
It was over.
Yeah, I mean, which is a sad thing. You know, it's just like damn, like and he was never able to rebound. Like one point in time, he's trying to diss Eminem, and it's like, nah, nigga,
I ain't with that. Yeah, like
nigga, let that shit go.
Yeah, it's over with, homie.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, like,
nah,
I can't answer. I can't answer this shit.
Go ahead.
Okay, so let me.
You know the question?
Yeah, I got you. What's some old ass restaurants that you still go to?
Man,
you need some examples?
There's not too many now over here. Like if I was in Muskegon, it'd be Mr. Quick.
Okay.
I probably still go grab a burger from there every now and then. Ain't no more Pound of Roses.
Dog, it's a Ponderosa in Indiana, nigga.
Is it? See, if I pass the
No, it's
road,
random though. Like every time I go, you know, because I'm on my keto shit. But every time
yeah,
I'm driving back, every time I'm driving back and forth, I'm like, let me stop at this Ponderosa, and I never do it. You know, most of the time I'll be riding with the dog or whatever, so I don't ever stop.
Yeah. What were your examples? Did you have some? Because I can't really.
No, just like, not necessarily old at, but I'm saying your Chili's, your Outbacks, your what's the name of the seafood one? The Red Lobsters, your Applebee's and stuff like that. Because I gotta check. But I want to say I went to Applebee's like after prom and shit. Like it was it was just like really that was just what Muskegon had to offer type of shit.
Yeah. Now I haven't. So when I was down south for Thanksgiving, we went to Longhorn, which I think is in the Vandalite Outback. The other joint I can't think of.
Okay, let me interrupt you real quick. It was called Tres Leches, and it had Prodigy and Inspector Deck on.
That's off of the Pun joint. Damn, I should have known that because I just listened to that album last weekend.
Yeah, and RZA had produced it. I didn't realize that was RZA and Rock Raider, R.I.P. Like I used to look up to him as far as like when I was like learning how to do tricks and shit with the DJ and shit. Right, but Rock Raider did all of the scratches and shit.
Okay. Yeah, because I was listening to that album last Saturday. My niece was in the car with me and I was playing it.
Oh, that's a dope ass album. That shit too long though, but that's a pause. But that's a dope ass album to be listening to, like for your niece to be like Big Pun. Thank you.
But that was actually the album I gave them last year. You know, I got 4 of my nieces and nephews. I give a hip hop album to every year. Capital Punishment was the one. And
that's a dope ass album. Like I said, it runs too long.
It is. Like
that's the best album give the niggas.
Yeah, like so. I had to type something up about it because usually when I first started doing stories about the albums, like my own little personal stories, and like I gave them. I usually got them CDs, but last year was the first year I gave them on vinyl. I think the year prior to that, I gave my oldest niece the album on vinyl, whichever one that was. I think it was the Fugees actually. Yeah, so then
you said vinyl. You said and I mean you can put it on record now because we're talking about it. You said you need a record player, right?
Oh yeah, you gonna get one?
Yeah, I'll get you one. I got you.
Yeah, because I got Biggs Ready to Die for Christmas. I got DJ Quick's name on vinyl too.
That's so random.
Now, we do like a little Amazon list, and like, man, I just put random stuff on there. Like, and I put a handful of vinyl.
Bro, at this point in time for Christmas and all that shit, like, you know how you just be buying your own self shit, and it's like, it's hard. Like, you really have to not necessarily be obscure, but you got to kind of like be like, okay, this is something that I would like to have. Because like, I mean, I gave away like half of my records to my nephew, like, and then I'm giving away the rest of them, but I probably end up rebuying some of the stuff and just starting over. Like I bought shelves and all that stuff for my vinyl and stuff, but I'm exhausted of having space taken up from it, you know.
Yeah, like I've just bought like I think over the past couple of years, like because it's expensive now too, so I don't necessarily always feel like
that's
it's basically like
buying certain shit because
it
should be like $30 or $40 and shit. I'm like, damn shit, nigga, for motherfucking soul food, goody mom and shit.
Yeah. So it's just certain albums I'll just put on my little list and like, you know, if somebody cop them for me, they cop them for me. If not, you know, it is what it is. But you know, it's something. So there's another one I got too. Oh, randomly, Naughty by Nature's first album. Like, I still don't remember why I put it on my list, but
why, nigga? Like I'd have thought at least what was the name? Was it Gangsta's Paradise or something like that? Or something. Poverty's Paradise. Poverty's Paradise.
Yeah, but I want man. See, we keep going on tangent.
No, I'm cool with the tangent.
I was kind of a fan of Naughty, but yeah, like I like, of course, OPP. I like the one about him being like, I don't know if it's called Ghetto Bastard or whatever, but It was him being like, I don't know, a fatherless child or something. I
Yeah, I
forgot.
remember that shit. Look, hey,
Yeah,
look. I look. I don't remember who it was I was arguing with. It might have been Darius, but I was arguing how I can't remember the rapper that I was going to, but I shouldn't have been having this argument. But I was saying how Tretch was one of the best rappers of all time at that time when I had heard
hey,
it might have been Mike, but it was either Mike or Darius. But I remember arguing when
was
I
this
heard
was this in junior high?
Poverty's Paradise, huh?
Oh, was this like
Yeah, Poverty's Paradise was I think 10th, 11th grade.
oh oh okay.
But I remember listening to him. I was like, damn, that nigga be spitting. But then, but you know what, kind of gives me a little bit of validation is that Eminem said that he's one of his favorite rappers, and that's where he got
Trent
most of his
wasn't
style from.
bad. Yeah, Trent was. I mean, man, 10th, 11th
No,
grade.
I never to this day say. I mean, I never say the wild
No,
statements I was saying back then.
yeah, I'm thinking about 10th, 11th grade. Like that's. I mean, it's not a bad. Like I don't think it's not a bad take back in 92, 93.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a hope now. Now you probably go back and say
I wouldn't say he's better than Biggie or Pac or anything like that.
But, no, but like, but to what you're saying though, like if you're talking about Poverty's Paradise and that's a 92, 93, that's before we got big in 94. A lot of people didn't really start rocking with Pac till like Me Against the World in 95, and then All Eyes on in 96. So like, it's a debate you could put Tretch above. Tretch wasn't bad. Like Tretch was nice. Like I mean, probably the most underrated member lyricist of all time is Vinny though. But Tretch though was
what? Hold on a second, nigga. You ain't sticking that shit in. What you say about Vinny?
Nothing, dog. Man, Vinny.
Not to be just to make sure that we're talking about the right Vinny. You talking about Vin Rock, right?
I forgot that was his name. Yes, Vin Rock.
I'm just making sure.
Vin Rock is Naughty by nature. The one member of Naughty that like if he would have just retired, you would have been like, so. Like KG had the production, so you didn't want to get rid of KG. He was the DJ, he was the producer. I mean, but you know what though, like I said, man, I think 10th, 11th grade, man, that wasn't a whole take. And I do remember M saying that about Tretch, and I could see that. Like I think Tretch, like his flow, he had some solid lyrics then. Like now, OPP, when you just listen to OPP, him flowing on it, and just the rhymes, it's like, yeah, this was catchy and creative. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Always for
think about that. So pull it back. Pause. We was OPP. What was that like 91? Kind of like 91, 92. Yeah. We over here talking about other people's property in these times. That is crazy to me. Like we was like, and this goes to the whole when we was talking about the side nigga song and all that stuff. Like
yeah,
it ain't changed. It's just being said a different way.
Yeah, it's. I like, man. He had one like he's talking about what this man said. He said, man, he was like, for the ladies, OPP means something gifted. The first two letters are the same, but the last is something different. It's the longest, loveliest, lean. I call it the leanest. It's another 5 word rhyming with cleanest and meanest. I won't get to that. Like, you know, like, and you get older, you like, damn, like, all right, like, I mean, that's one of the ones like it's so catchy. Like going up, like I remember Humpty Dance came out like when I was in sixth grade, and Humpty said, "In the '69, my Humpty nose will tickle your rear." In 6th grade, I thought he was talking about like a car, like a 69. I'm thinking like, how's he tickling your rear? And they're like,
hold on a second, nigga. To this, what's the day? December 29th. Like nigga, I didn't understand that until now.
Yeah,
and that's okay. Like,
yeah,
I think I remember off of that song specifically was getting busy in the Burger King bathroom.
Yeah, he said years later, I'm like, yo, he wasn't talking about a car
at all.
Like, but that's kind of like what OPP was in the van. But you know, some of that goes into like Tretch being able to like go with that word play on it. It's kind of crazy that we like are actually talking about Tretch and his his status.
No, that's
As
funny.
like
I would have literally not thought about that song in general, or with like or OPP or even Humpty Dance. It was little things that were thrown out there that, you know, but it's okay. Like being a kid, that was the beauty of. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, you talking. All I want to do is zoom and zoom, zoom, zoom in your boom, boom. It's like these niggas is talking about fucking. Like,
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's just what it is. I'm like, I literally want to zoom in your boom. It's like nigga, that's literally what they talking about this shit in. And as kids, we was just singing it. But the thing that was the innocence of being a kid, though. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if little kids are like doing wild stuff now, but you'll hear little random stories every now and then of instances of kids being sexual, but I wasn't thinking about fucking back then. Like, I was just thinking of just I like the music, you know. Shit, I wasn't listening to "Go Downtown" by SWV and thinking about eating pussy and shit like that. Like I was just listening to
It was a dope song.
like them sing a song, yeah, like that was it, you know.
Then you get
Or
older,
even
oh,
nigga, them niggas intro talking about come inside and shit, and I'm like, wait a minute,
man, that song. And when you play like a version of that song where it go into like it's no longer playing, they like at the bit. I'm like,
yeah, it's like a additional 3 to 4 minutes on the album track and shit.
yeah, I'm like,
So.
yo, like yo, they was really, but like you Silks Lose Control. Let me lick your body up and down to you, like,
yeah.
and you,
them
you
H-Sound niggas was some wild niggas.
Yeah.
And shit, and even the shit that we was exposed to with Luke, like,
yeah, man, Luke,
like Luke was in. I like give Luke his props. Like that nigga was a like you may not say that he was dropping metaphors and similes and shit like that, but Luke was a motherfucking innovator. Right. Everything Luke did, that nigga set a trail for other niggas in music. You know, it may not have been indirect, direct, but you know what I'm saying, indirect influence is influence, you know, however you look at it.
Do you get Lil Kim if you don't have a Luke?
Nah, you don't. Shit, like, fucking, you know, Biggie was on a fucking Luke album. That niggas don't even know Luke Biggie's verse on Luke album, but and Eddie owns that tape. What I remember,
I do. Is that the one that had like Cowards and Compton?
Yep.
No. Yeah.
Nah, it had Cowards and Compton because no, wait, hold on, because Cowards and Compton.
It?
No, Cowards and Compton probably dropped. I want to say that dropped maybe like 93 or 90.
Yeah, it was a different album. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forgot about it, but I know what you're talking about. Yes, I feel like
that Cowards and Compton video is hilarious.
Man,
I watched that shit probably about a couple months ago. Like,
yeah,
shit is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
so let me. You say what?
I still remember watching that video and hearing the song, and like it was hilarious. That was in between that Dre Day and Easy E's Real Motherfucking G's. It was like Luke just dropped his like little response. Like, it's kind of funny, but it's like with Luke and his personality, Luke wasn't like no hardcore gangster rapper, so he wasn't gonna be talking about like seriously, like, you know, spraying you or wetting you up. It was like the Luke, that Miami bass or booty, whatever you call it, like beat it, him people going in and him just, it's an entertaining song. I'll say.
Hey, nigga, I fall in rabbit holes. And pause. But when I fall in these rabbit holes, like for some reason I was listening to Luke and the whole Cowards and Compton, and somehow I forgot which out. Like I want to say the album dropped 93 or 94, but as I was listening to the album, like it was just other songs on there, and I'm like,
you and me were texting when you were doing that. Cause I think I might have mentioned Cowards and Compton to you. Cause I think somehow we got to talking about Dre Day versus Real Motherfucking G's. And I think I mentioned Cowards and Compton. And then when you started sharing some of the tracks off of Cowards, that album, I was like, yo, like it was some other. It said something about Dre's mama or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
it was a whole rabbit hole. I'm like, damn, this shit is crazy.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, like, and some of the titles like I vaguely remember, but others I was just like, it was like, yeah, Luke, like you, like it was like, nah, this was just kind of for Dre, huh? Like,
yeah, and you know, but you look at the flip side of that, right? If you listen to The Chronic, or if you listen to Get Rich or Die Trying, those albums.
Yeah.
Not to say that they are totally directed at the different crews that they was trying to diss, but if I'm Easy E, I'm not trying to listen to The Chronic, which is heralded as a classic album.
Yeah.
If I'm Ja
Well, you know,
Rule,
Easy can't listen to it anyway. But go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going.
nah, that nigga that he cannot. I mean, his son can listen to it, or his, one of his nine, I think it's 9 kids or whatever.
Yeah.
But one of the 9 kids can listen
bump it. Does MC Ren bump it? Does MC Ren bump it?
That's even because MC Ren can't listen to I remember he said something about Easy E's dick tastes like MC Ren's ass, nigga. It was something like that. Yeah. It was something on there. I was like, just leave that alone. But anyway, like, listen to Get Rich or Die Trying. Ja Rule. I saw this image and I was listening to that album. Ja Rule has never listened to Get Rich or Die Trying. I remember listening to Back Down. And I was like, damn. I was like, damn. Okay, Jeffrey, because the gay dude was on there talking about Jeffrey Atkins and all that stuff.
The song itself bad enough, but then you throw on that last little skit at the end, like, dang, 50 just having a ball now, like 50 just jabbing you, just like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
You just you can't, and you look at it, like, you look at the aftermath of it, like, man, Ja ain't never come back from that for real. Like,
listen, you gotta love 50, right? And a lot of people don't, but when you listen to 50, the one dope part about 50 at that time was because I never really considered what's the shit that came out in 99,
that EP or whatever.
Yeah, but what was the name of the song that everybody got mad at him for?
Oh, How to Rob. Yeah,
How to Rob. I never, like, I considered that, like, a lot of people took it personal as far as, like, within the industry. But when I listened to that song, I thought it was kind of just like saying everybody that was the most popular artist at the time.
Man.
But he got blackballed because of that, pretty much. And then, the whole shooting and stuff like that. But then fast forward 2002, all it, because I remember seeing album. I don't know if you remember, like, in the Double XL at one point in time, 50 was talking about, it was like signing with Death Row and signing with all of these different labels and who's all interested to him. That's why I fuck with Elliott Wilson. Like, Elliott Wilson is like one of the dopest writers, content creators out there. And you put me on to him as far as his editorials, because the editorials just like was dope as hell. Like, I was like, damn, this is straight shit talking. And I've never, like, before that, I had never listened to anybody's or read anybody's editorial. After that, I never read nobody. I even tried to. What was the dude? His name starts with a D.
Daytwan.
Yeah, Daytwan. Like, I tried to read his editorial. I was like, damn, this ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it wasn't.
Elliott Wilson was like the shit. But back to 50, like 50. Like, watching his come up, like, people just hate, like, sometimes people don't like to see the come up, and watching 50's come up from the How to Rob all the way until the Get Rich or Die Trying was just like something fucking amazing. Like, and it's almost like, I love his business acumen, just to be just, you know what, I don't fuck with y'all. I'm gonna do my shit my own way, and I'm gonna do it on my own crew. And, like, ever since then, that's kind of been like my psyche, as far as, like, I'll do my shit on my own. Fuck what y'all talking about. I feel like I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. And that's like 2003 in fucking February. Like, nigga, if you didn't hear 50 playing, like, if it wasn't 50, Lil Jon or motherfucking reggaeton, nigga, like, like, nigga, like, that's all you heard at that point in time. And that, like, it was a time, like, so shout out to 50, because that was just like some of the dopest, like, to put out an album. The hardest part is to put out an album and people respect it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because people won't say what was the second album? I can't think of, well, not Power of the Dollar, but the one after
Was it Curtis?
no, that was the third one.
Curtis, was it? What
No,
was
Curtis was the third one. With Candy Shop.
I know what you're talking about.
Is it Punishment? It's something I just remember he said he drew on his like because he said he had gained some weight. Anyway, that album was dope. I thought Curtis was dope. Only reason Curtis didn't, in my opinion, get the props that he got because he went up against Kanye at the time for the Massacre, yeah. And the only reason why Curtis didn't get the props that it should have gotten was because it went up against Graduation at the time. And that was the whole thing, but it still sold like a lot of records. Anyway, all I'm saying is 50 had one of the dopest careers in music. And I love seeing the not say bad guy, but I love to see when somebody got like a drive and they say, you know what, I ain't fucking with y'all. I'm just gonna fuck with my crew. You know, even all the way up to the G Unit shit and all that stuff. Like 50 was working within his crew, whether it was Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, or Game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was just making them niggas hot. You know what I'm saying? I would have never thought about buying a Lloyd Banks album. Hell, nigga, I own motherfucking Tony Yayo's album. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I would have never bought them niggas if they weren't associated to 50, but I bought them because of 50's grind.
Yeah, I got Young Buck's album.
Young Buck had a good album though. Young Buck album was dope as fuck.
Yeah. I think I have a couple of Lloyd Banks. I actually like Lloyd Banks' first album though. Like,
me too. Hell, I like Lloyd Banks' album that he dropped in. It's like 2009, 2010 with what was a song with Joel Santana, Beamer Benz Bentley. You know what I'm saying? That album was actually pretty damn good.
Well, it wasn't bad. He just had a monotone flow. Like
it was simple, and it was one of those like 50 had his crew set up the way that it would have been dope. Only problem was his crew, in my opinion, didn't believe in themselves as much as they believed in 50.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give it to Ye. Like, I mean, I still listen to Yayo interviews, and it's not necessarily because of 50, but I like the 50 stories that comes along with the Yayo interviews. I just like him as a person, like his charisma. He's just a funny dude.
Yeah.
But
Lloyd could rhyme because like you said, he probably didn't believe in himself as much. Like
50 did an interview and he was talking about how them niggas he was like he had all of them, whether it was Mobb Deep, Yayo, Bucks, Banks. And he said he's talking about how all the niggas showed up. All these niggas had Reebok deals, but none of these niggas is wearing Reeboks. And the nigga was like, all right, deal gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, but that's just what it is. It's like, if you don't support the brand, it's just like, I mean, Michael Jordan showing up and, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who, well, Joe Johnson, Eddie Jones and all these niggas is wearing like shoes that ain't Jordans and shit. It's like, all right, nigga, y'all deal's gone. Like, nah, it's y'all going up against a brand. Like, y'all getting paid to wear this, but you choosing to do otherwise. Like, nah, nigga, if you go pay me, nigga, if you pay me to wear Pro Wings, nigga, like, nigga, I be in Pro Wings all day, every day.
Yeah. Like, hey, Jay was rocking them S. Carters forever. To Reebok went away.
Shit. What's the nigga? What's the nigga that with the cross? Jamal Crawford. That nigga was one of the sponsors for S. Carters. I remember at one point in time. So
hey, they're gonna cash that check. Hey, like I'll rock some Pro Kids. Like, hey,
I'll rock anything if niggas pay me. I don't know about lugs though, but I rock most of anything. But I don't know about lugs.
They make the check big enough. I'll rock some lugs.
Nigga,
what about the Master P? What about the Master P joints?
I would do lugs, but I don't know if I do the Master P. Lugs, I like when Ghostface said, "I never rock lugs. I'm way above." Like that kind of just stuck with me my whole life, type of stuff. Now I was reading somewhere it was saying how what's the dude Baby in Cash Money. He was saying how he like he got like a $400,000 check. It was either 200 or 400,000. I don't know. I don't count niggas' pockets, but how he got a bag from the niggas, and if the nigga threw me $200 or $400,000, nigga, I rock lugs. I'll have some input in the design though. Like it won't be no lugs that look like fake Tims. Yeah. So it's those stuff like that, that you got to be conscious of. Let me ask you this question, and we could wrap up. So within this question is a very close one to me. When you got your first job ever, what was the first thing you bought?
I don't know what the first thing was that I actually bought. Now, what I do remember is,
what is the first thing you did with your money?
So this thing was, I got it in 10th grade. So then going up until 11th grade, like, my mom, she couldn't get me any designer clothes. Like it was dressing like a bum. Some of that I dressed now at 47. But you cared more.
It's okay to dress at 47 as a bum. Then because you got to think, man, us as kids, man, like I'll say this to any day, like kids are just straight assholes.
Yeah.
And kids will sit up there and talk about your clothes. They talk about your name. They talk about your family and all these little things, but don't realize how impactful those things are. That's why I don't ever get into talking about people, like whatever's going on with them, just because I don't know how that impacts people's self-esteem. And sorry for going off in this tangent, but I'll digress. What was the first thing that you was able to get?
Not so that's like my last summer, just a bunch of Car Canal. I think I got some other things, but like I remember I had like Car Canal, like little gray sweater that I think my senior year picture might be, or my 11th grade, my senior year picture might be like a yearbook picture. It's probably like with the little Car Canal gray sweatshirt that had the little metal plate on it. Like
shit, this nigga had the metal plate in this bitch.
Man, I had like a Car Canal teal jean outfit.
I'm talking about.
I think I copped some gas, but that was my first check. Like I went back 11th grade. Like I remember somebody later on, like, because I was working at a local restaurant, and then senior year I switched over and working at McDonald's, and I was working at somebody that I went back to steal with, junior high with, and he was like, man, he's like, I thought you was rich. I thought your mom was rich. I'm looking like, dog, like,
wait, because of your job?
I guess he didn't realize that I was copping my own gear in 11th grade. I'm looking at him like, you go back to steal with me. You go back to 7th grade, 7th through 10th grade. I look like trash. Like, but you think my mama hit the lot right before 11th grade? Like, I've known you since now we weren't friends, but we've known of each other.
But niggas, you peeped out my outfits, nigga. Like, you know, I wasn't just. I didn't look. I still remember. What's the dude name? He went to steal. I can't think of his name. I know he used to be with. Huh?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No. He used to be with Noel, but I know Calvin's married to Noel now. Dougie.
Oh.
You remember Dougie?
Yeah, Dougie. I always had the gear.
Look, I remember Dougie. Look, I remember Dougie had some used overalls, and I was like, damn. I was like, that nigga paid like $100 because they was like $80 or $90. Yeah. I remember I was like, that nigga had used overalls, and I was like, damn, I want some of those. Nigga, like, it's great. So to reverse it back on myself to answer the question. My first, I had different jobs, right? So my first job where niggas didn't pay me and shit, but I managed to get some money was a paper route. Okay. And within that paper route, man, these niggas used to treat me like shit. Like, I'm talking about like people that was paying me like for the newspaper. Like, these niggas wouldn't pay on time and stuff like that. So the one thing I finally got, I was like, fuck y'all niggas. Like, I took all of the money and just went on and paid myself. I think I bought me some K-Swiss Gestads. Nigga, like, And that's literally to this day one of my favorite shoes, just because of what I was able to get at that time. But nigga, like that shit was few and far between on like stuff that I was getting. I still remember my cousin Brian, that nigga had the Jordan 5s in like 8th grade. And nigga, I just remember I wanted them hoes so bad. And his brother or brother-in-law had the same 5s. You know what I'm saying? So I was the nigga that my cousin, but I was the nigga that didn't have them. So and that's why I kind of had like this whole relationship with Jordan, that in 9th grade, I finally got some David Robinsons.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I got the David Robinsons, like they kind of like got scuffed a little bit. And this is like, nigga, this is before like all of this shit. Like I got them from Foot Locker. They got this is some old, what you call it, random shit, for lack of better words. But I took shoes back, and I took them back at least 4 times.
Yeah.
So I took them David Robinsons back after they got scuffed. Then I got another pair of David Robinsons. And then when those other David Robinsons got scuffed, I took them back. And I got my first pair of Jordans, Jordan 6s. Those Jordan 6s got fucked up. I took those back and got another pair of Jordan 6s, the Carmines, which is literally one of my favorite Jordans ever. So all that being said, like it took me a while to get to the Jordans, but like I managed to get that shit. Like now my first job, like when I was in high school, I had like 2 jobs. I had a job where I worked at this camp. Then I had a job where I worked at McDonald's.
Okay.
And when I had both of those jobs, I still remember to this day, this shit is little money now, but I remember getting paid like $500. And I went home and I went to the bank, cashed my little check. I went in the house and I was flicking off my money to my mom's. I gave her like 200. I gave her like 200 out of the 500 that I got paid.
Right. Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? But that was just like some of the best, to be able to do some dope shit. Like my mom didn't care about my little ass money, you know what I'm saying? But just to be able to, give my mom, but like I didn't splurge, like I didn't spend no money off of that first check, you know what I'm saying? With the exception of like I said, on me. Like, I mean, of course I was spending, we all had hookups and shit, all right? So like, nigga, you worked at McDonald's, nigga. I forgot, was it Corey? I can't remember, whatever nigga worked at motherfucking Taco Bell. Anyway, all of them been saying like niggas had hookups all throughout the city that I wasn't really spending no money. And I didn't really spend no money on myself until it got down to when I was working at Imperial Sports. Because Imperial Sports was like 40% off. So now I'm buying every fucking outfit and all that stuff. But nah, nigga, the K-Swiss Gustas, nigga, in the 7th grade going to the 8th grade, nigga. Oh, I ain't say this shit. It's just some whole ass shit. But one of the things I did too, my second thing that I spent my money on, my whole ass cousin, this nigga. So I think I told you this story, Eddie, but so I had bought, I don't know if y'all remember what's the video, Summertime with Will Smith and shit. So I remember buying, like, I was like, fucking these niggas ain't paying me. So I went and bought me some of the striped shorts, some Georgetown shorts, and a Georgetown t-shirt, $45, Foot Locker, whatever. So, I was in band, and you was in band too in 6th grade, or 7th grade, right?
Yeah,
at Steel, right? I was at Bunker, but you was at Steel, right? You was in band, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, fuck them niggas. But anyway, so I had bought this little outfit, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear that to go to motherfucking Michigan Adventure, or we called it Deer Park back in the day.
Yeah.
So so nigga, we had to go march. And then we had to go march. After we marched, then it was like everybody was headed to Deer Park and stuff like that. So then I come home and I see like kind of like the doors open and shit. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I'm ready to put my outfit on and head out to Deer Park. My outfit gone. I had my out, and back then, you used to lay your shit out, make sure your shit was nice, crisp, and all that shit. So I get ready. I go into the room or into my room to get my little outfit. My outfit ain't on the bed. So I'm like, all right, it's only two people that can be a part or that could have taken it. One of them I knew didn't take it, which is Brian, and that's my favorite cousin. That's who I grew up with. But I ended up calling the other cousin that I thought, I ain't gonna say the nigga name, still some whole shit, but I called his mom. I'm like, hey, fuck it. Where's this nigga at? Like, where's Idris at? Like, what the fuck? This nigga, she was like, well, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. I walk over there. Like, this is kind of like in a still area. I walk over there, go to the house, knock on the door, like, oh, he ain't there. He's like, I think he's down the street. I go down the street at whoever's house he's at, knock on the door. This nigga got my outfit on. And was like, I don't know what you're talking about. This ain't your outfit. I was like, nigga, like, I ain't have a lot. I couldn't buy the jersey. I couldn't afford the jersey and the shorts, nigga. I had the shorts and the motherfucking Georgetown t-shirt, nigga. Like my little $45 fit. Like, ain't trusting him to this day. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, bro, like, why would you steal my shit? Like, and I never got into, like, I never steal nothing from nobody, not even based off of that scenario, but just understanding that
people work for
stealing from niggas in general. Like nigga, like, I had your Nas Illmatic tape forever, but I managed to get it back to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had Mike's FL for Zag and a Niggas for Life NWA shit forever, but I managed to give it back to him, but like, whatever it took just to maintain that relationship. I never steal nothing from nobody. That shit is just foul, but but to steal my shit and say that it's like, not mine and you have it on.
Yeah, that's wild. Like,
that was some fuck shit.
Like, dang. Like, he like, man, no, I'm just having to go to Foot Locker and get the same fit that you got.
Like I said, look, and this nigga, he sold drugs and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, like, you got way more money than me.
Yeah,
I'm out here with paper route money. Like, come on, man, do better.
Yeah, like, your drug money a little bit longer.
I mean, I think selling drugs is a little bit tougher, but it could be a lucrative experience if you know what you're doing. So
yeah, he probably got that 45 quicker than you did on that paper route.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, like, I was begging people to pay me. I was like, just pay me. Just give me my money. Like, nah, them niggas was not paying the niggas. So, but
that's why my mom wouldn't let me do a paper route. She was like, because you got to depend on them to pay you, and they ain't gonna pay you.
Your mom is one of the most introspective people ever, because that was exactly what it was. I had to beg these niggas like weekly, like, yo, hey, can I get paid, please? And I have to still deliver these papers to you. Like, it wasn't like, And I remember one time I had we were traveling somewhere, maybe to Mississippi, I can't remember, but even when I was traveling, I had to have Brian do my paper route for me.
Yeah.
So then I had to pay him, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that he was able to, do the route and all that stuff. So, but
paper route, boy. Paper boy, yeah, my mom was dead set against it.
I feel your mom, G, like, because niggas would not pay me. And I'm like, damn, is it just a smile on the face? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, always smiling. That's what got your ass in trouble. You always want to smile.
I know.
Like, oh, look at cute little Sean Dick. He ain't gonna
hey, at least his name's Sean P. Diddy, nigga. Like,
it'd be like your nephew. Oh, I forgot P. Sean P. Diddy.
Nigga, I was like, nigga, shut up. It's Sean Diddy. He's like, no, Sean P. Diddy. Like,
but even at Sean Diddy, are you some relation to Diddy?
Not.
Is that baby oil back on your couch?
Nah, nigga, it's tequila, baby.
I thought it was baby oil. My fault.
Nah, ain't no baby oil.
My fault. Ain't tequila like liquid baby? Like, I guess, because baby oil is liquid. Like, should I say edible baby oil? Is that what tequila is?
I would hope that it's not. That I would hope that that's not the case.
And that's true. Like, tequila makes way for the baby oil to come into play.
Not 1,000 bottles though.
Tequila's the gateway drink to getting baby oil on you.
Not from Puff.
I know you a Diddy.
Oh, see what was the Puff? What was it? Not not Ciroc. What was the shit that Puff had?
The Deleon?
Yeah,
You talking about
Deleon.
yeah,
Deleon.
Deleon, yeah, Deleon,
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
That. I fuck with Deleon. Deleon actually pretty good though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
one of my cousins was drinking it down south.
yeah, nah, you saw. Oh man, like okay, so I know we're a little bit over. We go to like we give another 5 minutes, but so within the Puff situation, not even just for Puff, but I'm gonna revert to Jay. Like, how do you feel about the Jay scenario right now versus the Puff situation?
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't heard too much about the Jay situation, so I feel like it's gonna, unless like 10 more chicks come out the war, because I've heard now though, they're saying the one that accused him is saying, lying and things like that. I don't know, man. Like I think somebody mentioned me like like Jay doesn't seem to be getting the like treatment that Diddy did, but I
Yeah,
think I think Diddy, like, by the time the treatment that we're thinking about, he got it after like multiple accusations.
yeah.
And I think if you don't hear more now, if you start hearing more accusations, you can start getting more people come out the woodwork. Then yeah, it'll probably start to be a backlash for Jay. But if this is like a one off that he can maybe disprove or whatever, then it's gonna probably like I don't know, Jay will do something like that will kind of make people forget. Like, but like, I don't necessarily think that Jay's a Teflon Don though. Like, I think if Jay had, like, I think if there's some ammunition for people to like take him down, like, I don't think he's infallible. Like, I think he'll get taken down. I just don't know that. And I don't know what's out there. I don't know what is what. I don't know. Um, man, we don't know none of
No,
these people
it's
personally.
an interesting situation because honestly, if you look at Puff's situation, right? What is out there outside of allegations, outside of the Cassie shit, right?
Yeah,
And even with the Cassie shit, it's just like, okay, this nigga like beat her ass. And I mean, we're not justifying somebody beating somebody's ass, but outside of the beating of the ass,
it
there's
doesn't mean
nothing
he
out
was
there.
sexual.
Yeah. Like all of the allegations and stuff is just extra shit. Like, okay, if you're accusing him that he did this, okay, cool, he did that with motherfucking Cassie, but that doesn't make him guilty of the other stuff. Like I said, I don't care about this nigga. Like, nigga ain't doing nothing for me. But
Yeah,
I mean, except for give me good music and inspiration. But like I care less about like if the nigga did something, I'm not protecting them. Like I
yeah,
protect the people that it makes sense for. And even with the Cassie situation, I felt that like I said, I don't know what was the what was behind, their settlement and stuff like that,
right.
but it felt like the tape was released and it wasn't supposed to be released
Yeah,
to
that's what
be
I
able
think.
to trigger these other allegations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't think Cassie was behind the release or however it works, but um with Jay, it's just always interesting that like I said, I'm a Jay fan, so I always try to remove my bias from it, but nothing's really sticking, you know. And when that happens, it's kind of like, how do you keep, like I didn't see shit switch to like not even from an allegation standpoint, but it's like another nigga that's talking about like Jay-Z's his daddy and shit. And I've been seeing stories on that. I'm like,
that's
hey
right.
nigga, like nobody care what you Jay-Z son. Like,
No,
like I mean, nigga, I don't know how old the nigga is. If I had to guess, I want to say he's in his 20s or whatever. And if there
well,
was a situation that he is the daddy, then you know
that's something that's
it's
different
a
from some
whole
of
separate. It's a whole
the
separate
that's
shit. Like you missed your window, nigga. Like you need to try to get that daddy. Like wow, it was whatever
yeah,
statute of
6, 7
limitation.
years old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like
so like
mm,
yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, it's funny. Like as I've got on, I don't know that I follow gossip, celebrity gossip, as much as like I don't think celebrity gossip was as prevalent as it is now. Like or it wasn't so
oh yeah, it's way different
accessible.
now.
And so
Yeah.
like I don't know if I would have, cause and now and some of it's probably just being older, just a lot of stuff like I don't like. I'm just not in the loop about. Like I just and then I'll hear about like I heard like somebody.
Bro, you know how cool it is to not be in the loop? Sometimes it's
It feels
cool. It feels
great.
good. Like, like so some
Like
things I'm cool with, some things I'm not. Like I want to be in the loop on sports, but some of this celebrity gossip and shit, I'm like, man, just let me know the verdict and shit.
yeah,
Like so
like all the stuff like where people I think what when Rihanna was having her babies, when Beyonce had her babies, and people like, oh man, we just want to see the baby. Like why? They all look the
I care
same.
less about seeing them little niggas. Like
Yeah, like they
I
like
care
all
less
that
about
stuff.
what
Like
no Rihanna fucking ASAP Rocky baby look like. I care
yeah,
less about a motherfucking Jay-Z and Beyonce baby. Like, nigga, I didn't impregnate that nigga. Like, what the
yeah.
fuck? Like, I care less.
Yeah, and that's just like a lot of it. Like, and even the stuff, I guess, even like where you start getting the court case and allegations, like the post stuff. Like, I finally just because there was so much going on with it. Like, I told people I was like, look, I don't. I was like, I'm gonna be on a jury. I'm not gonna be one of the lawyers. I'm not gonna be in the courtroom. I was like, it's not up to me to decide like what happened. I was like, but if I go off what people have told me, like somebody was saying like he had a party and he was telling the like women had to like take their panties off. I was like, now that's crazy. That don't mean he was engaging in sex trafficking. Like if you tell me he told them they had to take their panties off, they refused, and then he pulled them in and was like, "Ah, take your panties off, ho!" Like, we probably got something. No, like
But look at it.
they
Look
said,
at it like this, right? You tell me I gotta take my drawers off, and mind you, these are famous people most likely at these parties.
yeah.
Nigga, I can leave.
Hey, it's like Riley said on Boondocks, man. Sometimes there has to be some accountability. Like, hey, if you standing there and R. Kelly whip his thing out and he getting ready, do you A stand there or do you B move? So if you go to the party and post
Nigga,
that
I move.
and take your panties off, do you stay and take them off? And if you do, that's cool. But if you say no, that ain't what I want to do, like I don't think that equates to like sex trafficking. Like I said, like I don't. If anybody says I don't want anybody to think like I ain't no expert. Like I don't know what all the allegations are because I haven't paid attention. Like I don't know if there's any hardcore evidence out there. From what I've heard, there is no hardcore evidence. And like to me, so like they say, like flying somebody across state lines, like man, hey, I was on one of these little data apps. Somebody was like, hey, if you don't stay in Ohio, you got to fly me out. Like, hey, couldn't that be sex trafficking? Like,
Yep. No,
and,
no, but
and you,
so you brought up a great point. If you fly a chick, say, okay, you in Detroit, you fly a chick
I
from
come down to
no,
Atlanta, meet some fly
look,
little chick down there in Atlanta with you, be like, hey, baby, I'm gonna fly you up next week.
not so look at Toledo, right? I'm just saying for you,
Oh,
like Detroit and all
yeah,
that shit, right? Oh no, I mean I can say Atlanta too, but I'm just saying like, say for instance you in Toledo, right? Or she in Toledo.
yeah,
You say, well, it's probably cheaper if I fly you here than to have you drive here. It's probably only maybe about an hour and a half for a drive. I can't remember from Detroit, excuse me, to
yeah,
Toledo.
yeah. I
But,
got
so it's probably like a 15, 30-minute flight. I fly you from there to here or to Detroit.
you. Yeah.
We have, I guess, consensual sex or whatever. But that's sex trafficking.
Yes.
If I
You say what?
fly you, that's it. That's sex
Yeah.
trafficking. If I fly you from Houston to Atlanta, it was like, oh shoot, you should come through. Da da da. You be like, okay, cool. I come through, kick it for the weekend. I could do or do whatever. You come through from Houston, whatever, and we do whatever. Boom, that's sex trafficking. Like I
Yeah.
said, I mean it feels it's not like the YSL case because the YSL case is kind of crazy, but at the same time, it's like I feel like they're reaching to find stuff on him. Like I said, I'm not gonna defend any nigga that like treat people wrong or anything like that, but at the same time, we have to be cautious of these wild allegations of like I mean I think Puff, I can't remember or not, but isn't he locked up right now for like?
Yeah, I
I'm
think
talking about
so.
like he's locked up like with no bail type of shit.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's stuff like you are taking people's freedom, and we're in a nation of not guilty until proven guilty type of shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be conscious of that. And then, because I always worry that people always think like, oh, well, you think this about Diddy. You think like, I don't care how you think.
yeah,
I don't think you should care how I think.
yeah.
Like, and I'm saying like, I'm not pro Diddy, anything like that. But I am pro innocent until proven guilty. And if they prove that nigga's guilty, then fuck it, shit. I'm not gonna be out there with picket signs talking about like, oh hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. But at the same time, don't, because the thing is, when the innocence comes out, I'm not saying Diddy scenario, but usually when the innocence comes out, it's on page 6 and nobody cares.
Right.
Same thing with Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like all of the kids said that, oh, Michael Jackson didn't do it. Every single one of them, all of them, 100%. But when they was going on, that's why I don't fuck with Cat Williams to this day. I remember watching the Cat Williams stand up, and he was just like Michael Jackson, da 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 da. And I'm like, damn, like, why you going so hard on somebody that you can't really even speak? And it's fucking Michael Jackson. It ain't even like it ain't Steve Harvey where you're in the same circles, or like you're not in Michael Jackson's circle.
What happened.
So speaking to somebody like that, and I'm like, nah, you can't really go that hard on it. But at the same time, it's like when the truth comes out, or when the information comes out, it's like, well, nah, Mike did this to little kids, or blah blah blah. Nah, R. Kelly, a little bit different story. That shit is fucking weird, but even still, like, niggas was cool with R. Kelly when the motherfucker was fucking quote unquote marrying Aaliyah and shit and like that. And then like shit, like I said, we were young. Not to say that that's our defense, but shit, nigga, after motherfucking TP3, I'm like, I don't know. Like it started, but I was like 22, 23 at that point in time, starting to grow up. But being a little bit, younger, like, I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas was doing or whatever. And honestly, not to say that it was right or wrong, but I used to see the older niggas picking up the young chicks in high school like it was nothing. I'm like, all right, well, shit, fuck it. I mean, do whatever y'all do, but whether it's right or wrong. But like I said, I can't speak to what's right or wrong. I don't know. Whatever's consensual is what it is. I ain't trying to get canceled. I don't know what the fuck. Why in the hell y'all 16, 15-year-olds talking to motherfucking 30 and 40-year-old niggas? Like, you got a whole basketball and football and fucking baseball teams y'all could be talking to and shit. If it's somebody that y'all want to have that's kind of famous and shit, y'all can be talking to the other 16, 17-year-olds in y'all space.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's fair. Hope you don't get canceled.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shit. If I get canceled, shit, this podcast about to blow the fuck up, nigga.
That's my last podcast, so I forgot.
Oh no, yeah, you say that shit, but that shit ain't gonna happen, nigga. Hey, you know what? You know something I learned from a from my niece and nephews and shit. Like, we were talking, and they was like, it's like, yeah, make sure you subscribe and add to or add a subscription.
Yeah.
Nigga, like, I don't be thinking about that shit. So make sure y'all subscribe to our shit. Whether it's on you or add to our YouTube channel, or add to the motherfucking Podbean or Apple Music.
Huh? Tell them to follow you on IG.
Yeah, follow me on IG, motherfucking DJ Reality. Motherfucking what? Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, follow us on there. Actually, the podcast is Reality or Not Podcast on IG too. But like I said, I don't be thinking about that shit. I'll be thinking old nigga ways and shit.
Drop them links in the description of the podcast so people know. They can look in the description and go to your joint. At
you said put what in the description?
Put your links in the description.
Okay,
At
I'll
least
put
on
it
like
in there.
iTunes or
Yeah, I do
Apple.
that shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
let
trying to
them
make
know
sure.
where
I'm
they
trying
can
to make sure.
find you.
Like I said, I'm an old nigga. I don't be thinking
Yeah.
about putting all that stuff in there. But shoot, my niece and look, hey, look, my well, I think it was Austin, but it might have been AJ, but I think it was Austin twins or whatever. But one of them was like, when we recorded the podcast, they was like, "You got 12 million followers yet?" I was like, I don't think so, but let's push forward. Let's try to get as many as we
let's
can.
start with 1,200 first.
Let's start with 120.
Yeah, let's get that first.
Let's start with 12.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
but yeah,
shit.
drop all them links out there, man. I mean, this podcast I listen to, and they talk about like they links and all that, and yeah, so give them your ads. Tell them to get with you on Facebook.
Yes, sir. You could give me on Facebook. It's just me, Shantae McMillan. They won't allow me to change my name back to DJ Reality. It's been almost 10, 12 years, but fuck them. But then IG is motherfucking DJ Reality or Reality or Not podcast. And then you can subscribe on YouTube too, where it's just DJ Reality. And I have all those links in the motherfucking chat or in the motherfucking description as well. So what's your ads, Eddie?
Yeah, my shit is private. Don't worry about
it. Well, shit. Fucking privately follow Eddie and his bitch.
I know there's the pics of my Legos Instagram.
What about the connoisseur of fine hip hop since 1990?
Oh, that's what that is. I don't know what it is. I'll have to look it up. What is it? COFHHS 1990. I don't know what my Instagram is. I don't even know. It might be private.
No, it's something with Legos.
No, that's the Legos one. The pics.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that shit too, nigga. Like I know we about to drop, but nigga, my motherfucking Mario TV fell, nigga. Like I gotta put that shit back together, and that shit is like I got the book out and everything. Like I don't know how motivated I am to put that shit back together, but that shit is literally just sitting over it to my left in pieces.
That's sad. I did an inventory. I have about 110 sets. I'm looking at some of them right now.
That you have to complete?
Nah, that's why I got to go back to and mark off the one I completed. But it's probably at least looking right now, it's probably about 50 or 60 right here that I'm looking at. That some are smaller, some are bigger, like the Home Alone house.
I got the Home Alone house I got to do.
Green Got Bank.
I still got the what's the bank in Hogwarts.
Yeah, Gringotts.
Yeah, Gringotts. Yeah, I still got to do that.
That. I got the lighthouse somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I got a few Technique race cars. I got the Disney Up House. Yeah, I got that.
You got the Disney Up House? They did one for them. When did they do that one?
A couple years ago, maybe.
I do not remember the Up House. I love that movie.
Yeah. I'm not gonna stand up on the podcast. I am wearing shorts. I could technically stand up. I think I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, that's dope. No, I didn't realize it was an Up House. I love that movie. It was sad, but you know.
One out of Sam's Club. I think those are all the ones I haven't built.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. They're just stacked.
My goal is for the current sets that I have to be able to complete all of them by next year.
Oh yeah, that won't happen for me, but
you can do that shit.
No, I can't. No, because I'm about to do when we get off of here. I'm gonna go to bed because I gotta go in the office in the morning.
Okay.
And I gotta get ready for this cruise that you making me go on.
Sure. Yeah, nigga. And we gonna do it. We gonna do the podcast on the cruise, nigga. It's gonna be dope.
I'm retired, remember? But I might come out of retirement I might step in as a guest host since your new permanent host won't be there.
That's true. That nigga will not be performing that day.
Yeah, so I might step in as a guest host for Mike. But yeah, Mike is gonna be the new permanent host. I'll fill in on an as needed basis.
I feel you. Shit, you gonna be needed, nigga. You gonna be filling in all the goddamn time.
Nah, I'm gonna talk to Mike. You're gonna be good.
We shall see. It's gonna be a rough. It's gonna be a rough 3 weeks. You're gonna be like, all right, man, damn shit. I know I don't want to do it, but shit, I'm gonna do it with my nigga just because he asked me to do it.
That was today.
I know. Today was tough.
It was.
It was a 2 hour. But we figured it out.
We did. I didn't even accomplish nothing I want to accomplish today. Like I'm just. I forgot. You need to check in for the cruise too as well.
I was thinking I'm gonna do that shit tonight. I'm gonna do that shit in a second.
I need to print my
all I gotta do is put my credit card, right?
And your passport info.
Yeah, I got my passport. My passport is in this drawer over here and shit.
We'll take it out your drawer. Go to the Convo app and then like fill it out.
All right, I'll do that shit.
You know,
I'll do it. I promise. If it's not tonight, it'd be no later than tomorrow. But I'm literally gonna put it out. The master.
Because I want to print my documents.
Ticayero.
What?
Huh? I said the master Ticayero is may not have me. I drank a good amount of that bottle.
You shouldn't drink anymore. I don't drink anymore.
Oh, I got the bottle. Oh man, you got to see the bottle. I bring them in. You got to see the bottles. They are perfect. The wine bottles. I'm gonna post them, but we can be out there like these. They dope. Yeah, he put the bottle. He showed me how to like. I was like, okay, next time.
He showed you how to do it.
Yeah, that shit beautiful. So,
okay.
Well, all right, Playboy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you all. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Appreciate the time that you taking to listen to us. And that's it. Thank you all. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Deuces.
Cut that.